Hey everybody, welcome to the final monthly based video that I'm gonna do. When I say that, I mean like this is the last January orientated thing because like I've covered everything. I've done the Cavalier cheat sheet, I've done this and that, but one thing I haven't done is I've done a top 5 tips of the month. So I wanted to kind of like finish off and say, look, there we go, top 5 tips for January is done. So let's get cracking and right into it. The first tip, if you all know and you follow the channel, it is all about this lovely Xmen use and destroy all mutants. In a nutshell, and as a lot of you know, I've posted a video on this before, it's straight up practice. So you know that you can go to practice and you can take a champion out or fight a champion. And one of the great things is like taking a Xmen, hashtag Xmen champion against one other champion. So I mean, a good example here is Cyclops. I've got a very low rated Cyclops, which I could then practice against using a champion, which I went through a different method of doing this, which I will explain in a second. And I'll just take an Xmen champion like that and use it against that particular one. I think I did it with a Deadpool X-Force. But there is another way. You can do it by questing, where you can take an Xmen based champion. You can go to something like Road to Labyrinth, which is a very kind of like easy cheesable content, or normal difficulty. You do you at the end of the day, but it's all about saving energy. But if you go to Road to Labyrinth, you then go to the first quest, you then go to first mission, and in this case you do a 1 energy, and I think it's like 10 fight, and it's like by like 1 rotation of energy refill, or 1 energy that you've got, like 3 energy, 70 energy, whatever, you've done it. There are some other breakdowns to it, what I put in the description down below. The other way of doing this is then finding a champion that is mutant to then defeat. And as I said, full information is in the description down below, but I'm pretty certain all of you have seen the video that I posted of how to cheese this event in a very short space of time. Which is if you go to the monthly quest, which is here, you then go to Uncollected, and then you go to the first mission. There is a low energy 6-star champion to go up against, or the other option is, and that's 6-star right there, so it'll get you your kind of like dues with this solo event done, or you can just do arena. So at the end of the day, you do you when it comes to that grind. In a nutshell, you're able to smash this out. Like, you know, I'm on like 35,000 like points, and it's like you don't even need 35,000 points. Same thing with Xmen use. So very easy, quick tip there on that one if you haven't seen my video already on it. Tip number 2 is all about acquisition of health potions and revives. Now, with the oncoming Act 7.4, do I know a date? No. When would I expect it? Within the next 2 months. So it's either going to be a case you'll get it next month, which I really doubt you're going to get. March is more than likely when you'll see it, but as I said, that's an assumption, that's a guess, but it's based on like a bit of logic when it comes to that. Yes, it's been a fair time since we last saw the beta of it, but it's the last of Act 7, so you kind of think that it's going to take a bit of time to do. But yeah, it's all about preparation. I've still got some work to do with Act 7.4, 7.3, and that's fine. I'm nearly done with 7.2, then it's a case of like, you know, drash on with that, and I'm going to do that in some live streams very, very soon. But we need to top up on those health potions and revives. As a lot of you know, first and foremost, it's all about your 22-hour events in order to grab that revive, that health potion, and a little bit of units. Doing those once a day for the space of what? Like, I don't know, 2 months from now, could be a case that you would see upwards of, let's just say, I don't know, 50 to 60 revives and health potions. Yes, inventory management is a bit of an issue, but I'll talk about that in a second. But still, it's all about the process, acquisition, grabbing, and just grabbing that. So always set yourself up for the day in order to what you're going to do. Is it arena wins on? Go and do arena for a little bit with the 6 stars, with the 5 stars in order to get there quickly. Is it hero use? Go and auto fight some lower content. In particular for me, and a lot of players will have their story-based content they go to reacquire health potions and revives. For me personally, I have great success in going to Act 3.2.6, the Thanos quest. This always seems to generate stuff like full energy refills, health potions, but the main thing is, oh, there it is, that lovely little revive right there. That's the thing that we want. But still, this is where I go. Sometimes I've even found it when I've got double revives on. This has been quite a good kind of like place to go in order to kind of grab this stuff, retop up, and also try to not touch my my units and keep them kind of topping up, because I've got ambitions for July 4th. And yeah, don't forget to kind of like regrind some Realm of Legends in order to grab yourself some health potions, which again is helpful, just topping up the inventory, topping up the stash. More so, it's important to get that grind in towards the latter part of this month so that your inventory isn't kind of like going down so heavily on kind of like holding, because let's face it, as soon as you get them and as soon as you overstock yourself, you're going to be in a situation where your inventory is going to be like, oh, I need more space, like quickly. You can see like right now, like I got 6 days before stuff starts expiring, as I've got like a few there, and I need to retop up my revives and health potions, especially as I do more content. And that leads us on to our next tip, which is inventory management. Inventory management is so damn important, especially when Kabam are kind of delivering out some weird stuff into like compensation. I would say it's completely up to you whether or not you want to claim some of that stuff. It will have a date to it, and maybe it's not practical for me to go, oh, talk about holding on to those things that you got in a message and keeping them in the rewards before they expire, and then kind of choose to like take them in once I'm doing other content. Like basically, okay, I claimed compensation for yesterday's, but at the same time, would it be more advantageous for me to save it for future times I will need it? And that is a key thing as well. So it's important to look to that. 7 days is not great. If you've got 30 days to hold on to something, that's a bit better. And again, it comes with item rotation. And when you're kind of looking towards the end of the month, that is a good time to go, right, well, I've got content coming up I want to do, let's hoard them. I always like going through a process of, say, like 10 days prior I'm about to do a piece of content, is to do things like repeat some of the lower content that you've just seen right there, grab those revives in the inventory, and then the same thing with the health potions, so they're there. Then do the content, then go for, I don't know, about 5 days topping up, spend, top up, spend, top up. You know what I mean? That's kind of the process with it when it comes to the inventory management and kind of understanding what you've got coming in and what you've got coming out, what you need, what you don't need, and that kind of stuff before you take on content like story mode, variants, or whatever. Also, it doesn't hurt to take an hour to at least look through your inventory and see, okay, well, what do I have available? What can I get rid of? What can I manage here? What can be used as signature stones? Am I using it for any particular reason? Is it a case as well that I could do without certain things? I can sell them on. Make decisions about your inventory and make it more structured. Tip number 4 is all about July 4th deals and saving. Yes, I'm talking about this less than 7 months from now, but I think it's always good to like talk about these things because there's some very low end grind and high end grind you can do to gather units for this, and as well with processes that we talked about in previous tips, you might not even have to touch your units to get on with some of the content. So where do we begin? Well, today, at the point of this video going live on the 13th of January 2022, and between the July 4th deals going live, there should be around 173 solo events. Why is that particularly important? Well, in 173 solo events times 25 units, it gives you 4,325 units. So that's a nice amount that you can pick up, and it does indeed kind of like all add up, as I said. That's where like a huge chunk of units can come from. It's also interesting to think that if you auto-fighted normal difficulty and heroic difficulty, you'd be picking up 150 units a time. Yes, quite simply by going auto-fighting some of the lowest content you possibly can do, not even scratching master, you can pick up 150 units times 7 months, which gives you 2,100 units extra. This means that just by doing very little for the space of time between now and July 4th, you can pick up around 6,425 units. That's interesting math. All math in the description down below. I will be doing a full breakdown video on this and kind of going a bit further and beyond to put in things like arena grind, how many units are possible, especially because a lot of the time, most of the time, I followed that process of doing the solo events and doing auto-fighting of normal and heroic. Sometimes I don't have a lot of time for arena, and I'm going to be really busy between now and July. So I want, obviously, to do the sums, get the information out, get the math out, and maybe do some sneaky little arena grinding, low-end, high-end, and all that stuff. And a 5th tip of January is basically, well, with January, it's a new year, new you, new grinding, and what do you plan to do for the year? Plans, goals, aspirations when it comes to grinding in game. The biggest problem that a lot of players face is like, yes, if you've done everything, you've done everything. But if you create yourself targets, goals, or things that you want to do in game, at least you can feel yourself structured in what you're doing for the future. Like myself. Yeah, I do plan to play other games, but at the same time, there's some stuff within MCOC that I want to do. I want to get a rank 4 6-star champion as quickly as possible, and there's definitely scope for that, and that'll largely come from doing things like Karina's challenges. As I said, the one big thing is structure yourself to what you want to do, what you want to achieve. Do you want to get a rank 3 champion, which you've never got one before? Do you want to do some stuff when it comes to story mode? Do you want to get a new titleage? You know, do you want to get Thronebreaker? You weren't Thronebreaker before. These are things about setting out these goals. As I said, goals, aspiration, targets. It keeps yourself really kind of locked in and interested. If you want to pick yourself up more tier 5 class catalyst, do you have to then change the strength of your roster, kind of go for a big kind of prestige build in order to allow yourself to join a new alliance to then do things like more map 6, map 7, those kind of things. It is the time of year to make those decisions and structure for the future. And that's really the point. Find and as well rank up champions. If there's a champion that you're like, hey, I want to rank up this champion for X, Y, or Z reason, then at least you know what you're doing and all that stuff. But that's been it. That's been the top 5 tips for January. Thank you very much for watching this video. Make sure to check out some other content located on screen right now. And I'll see you in the next video, whenever that will be. Cheers, everybody. Have a good one. Bye-bye.